What's up, sports fans? Let me tell you about the hottest sports talk podcast around, The Jacob Vock Show. Jacob Vock breaks down the latest and greatest in sports every weekday afternoon in a way that you need to hear. Also on Mondays during the regular seasons, you get special episodes about the Yankees, Islanders, or Nets. Moreover, after every Jets regular season game that's on a weekend, you get an instant recap. So, what are you waiting for? Search out The Jacob Vock Show today.
Imagine the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet, all in one place. Go ahead. Dare to stream with Discovery Plus. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, Food Network, and more. If you can dream it, you can stream it. See what I did there? Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
What's up, everyone? Freddie the Pizza Man here, host of the Pizza Man podcast. Now joining forces with the ChristopherMedia.net. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, the Pizza Man podcast. And, of course, find all the podcasts on ChristopherMedia.net. We talk Detroit sports. I bring on guests, passions, opinions, all for Detroit sports and more. We even talk pizza. So thanks for tuning in and spread the word.
Christopher Media, let's make some noise. Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
Welcome to Sporgy, number 99. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm the Iceman.
99. No discussion. We know who it is.
Wayne Gretzky.
Couldn't find
Yes.
it. Sure, I'll go with that.
More assists than anyone else ever had. He has even had points. So, yeah.
I guess it's kind of fitting when we ran out of numbers. The great one has the last number.
Well, I mean, Aaron Judge, but he's got a ways to go before we start calling him that. So,
well, I mean,
really, he's 99?
Carl Edwards in NASCAR.
Yeah. Warren Sapp wore 99, I believe, with the Raiders.
He did. My number 99, the greatest of all time, better than Gretzky, Ricky Vaughn.
Wild thing. You make my ass sting. Seeing ain't that damn important. All right.
With tiger blood and all.
So let's just move into the story that broke literally a couple hours before we started recording this, which is I don't give a fuck if you're not from Detroit. I don't give a fuck if you're not a Lions fan. Excuse me. If we're going to talk Lions, I might have had a sip or two or something. I don't know. It's crazy. But apparently in 1996, Matt Patricia was not just accused. He was arrested and charged with sexual assault. And the story, as far as I've read, is that the accuser basically refused / disappeared, trapdoored out of the fucking whole situation, and started to not cooperate with the prosecution.
So, why are we talking about it? Because of because of the current climate, I guess.
Okay,
especially in Michigan, the current climate.
You know what we're talking about, why we're talking about it. But the problem is that as a 26-year-old student of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, says he was on spring break at South Padre Island, Texas, when the alleged assault occurred. Charges were filed in the case, and Patricia and his friend Greg Dietrich were indicted by a grand jury of one count of aggravated sexual assault, but they were never tried in the case. Now, this is through Michael Rothstein at ESPN.com. Speaking to the Lions organization, from Martha Ford to Bob Quinn, have all said, we vetted him very well. We stand behind our choice as him as a head coach. But there's also some, apparently, we didn't find that. We had no idea about it. It's crazy. I don't know what to believe as far as that goes. I find it very hard to believe that they're going to hand the reins of a millions upon millions of dollar moneymaker to someone that they didn't vet that well. Which makes me agree with you, Chris. Why are we talking about it?
I think they knew. It's kind of like an Ezekiel Elliott situation, right? Charged, not tried, never convicted, nothing burger. But because of the current climate where everything is sexual assault, I guess we have to bring this up now.
Well, look, as a guy who's been accused of it before, I was accused of it in 98. I was 18. The woman was 26 years old. And to look at the woman and to look at me, I mean, forcing her to have sex would have been easy. But what ended up happening is she accused me of it and everything. I got arrested, went downtown, everything. And just like with Matt Patricia, if you look at it, I'm guilty as a motherfucker. I'm huge. She's tiny. It happened. It had to have. No, it didn't. This woman was married. Her 2 roommates knew that we had sex, told her husband when he got back in town. She immediately said, no, he raped me. Bitch, I was sleeping in your house till 1:30 in the afternoon the next day. If I raped you, call the cop.
Okay, wait a minute. Dead serious moment. Chris, mark the fucking point in this. I've never heard this story. You sure you want to put this story out there?
Oh, yeah, I do. Now,
all right.
Here's the thing. I was never tried. I was never prosecuted. I went before a judge. She never showed up. She tried to convince her husband that I had raped her in a way to get out of cheating on him. There's a lot more to the story about drugs and alcohol and all that. But bottom line is, she tried to say that I did it so she could get out of being a cheater, but never showed up in court. Just went away. I never even seen her again. She had to be there for the charges to be pressed at my arraignment. It had been postponed 3 different times. She never showed. And then at the final time, my lawyer said, look, we're here. He's been here the whole time. He has nothing to hide. He's told everything. She's not showing up. I moved to have it dismissed, and it was dismissed. So for Matt Patricia, it could happen that way to me because I've been a victim of that. Somebody saying, oh, he did it, and then just disappear. It could be that he did it and paid her off. You don't know how that shit goes down. But here's the thing.
Yeah, but he was a 21-year-old. He wasn't Matt Patricia, New England Patriots defensive coordinator. Then he's a 21-year-old college student.
Right.
And furthermore, hold on, Earl. Please hold on to that. Not only was he a 21-year-old college student, he was a 21-year-old college student going for a degree in like rocket science or whatever the fuck. It wasn't like he was let's be honest here. It wasn't like he was the quarterback from Michigan.
That's Tom Brady. He was just the coach of him.
But no, serious. I'm dead serious. Like, I mean, do you? Unless he was unless he was a superstar in the intellectual community, I highly doubt that there was a bunch of nerds and pocket protectors going, if you testify, something bad might happen to you. Like, well, hack your credit rating. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Out there.
Right. My whole point behind telling my story is that shit happens. All too often in these day and age, you see Larry Nassar, you see Sandusky, you see Bill Cosby, Tiger Woods, all of them that actually went through and did do what they were accused of doing.
Tiger Woods only fucked around on his wife. Let's take him out of the trifecta of suck that you brought up, though.
But all I'm saying is in today's age, accusations are enough to fuck somebody's life up completely for the rest of their life. I am living proof, and I hope to God Martha Ford and Bob Quinn and them are telling the truth, that Matt Patricia is going to be living proof that if you are falsely accused, it doesn't have to ruin your life.
Well, it won't. The story I sent you guys in the group chat pretty much said, like, yeah, it happened. We knew about it. We don't care.
Right.
He's going to coach the Lions.
I celebrate the hell out of that. Like I said, that's why I shared my story, because that shit happens too. I know it for firsthand. It does happen. Girls say that shit and then just go away. And you never see them. Never another day in your life.
Here's the problem.
Does happen.
Here's the problem, guys. I agree with what you're saying, Earl. The problem is if some sort of activist decides to grab hold of this story and force it down the throat of the local media. There's people in the local media, Chris, you especially, you're as in tune to the local Detroit media as I am, with certain people that will run and grab this story and run with it and try to take it national. And we all know at this point an accusation is damn near as good as a conviction as far as ruining your career.
Right. But if Matt Patricia is in the exact same spot I am, and it sounds like he is, because like you said, she just went away. She told everything and then see ya. So if he's in the spot that I'm in where he knows 100% that shit didn't happen, it was just an accusation, and somebody in Detroit wants to take it and try to run with it, men need to stop being afraid. We need to start suing for slander, defamation of character. If I'm right, and I know I'm right, and I'm Matt Patricia, I'm going to sue any news reporter, anybody who wants to try to make this a huge story for slander and put an end to this shit.
But it's technically not slander. They are reporting on something that... No, it's not. They are reporting on something that factually happened. He was accused of sexual assault. He was not convicted.
He was arrested. He was charged. It went before a grand jury. He was charged. The charges were dropped. That is fact. If they report those facts and only those facts, that's not slander.
Right, but I mean, how would you take it and run with it? You can't. Because
yes, you do. Yeah, if you do, yes, you're bordering on slander. It's the same. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ! I didn't expect we were going to get this deep into it. Thanks, Earl. Appreciate it. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Same way that when Little Caesars Arena opened up and the opening act was Kid Rock, and certain people in the Detroit media came out and said, this is dog whistle racism to have Kid Rock open Little Caesars Arena because he's a undercover racist.
But child rapist R. Kelly is fine.
And wife and woman beater Chris Brown is fine. Exactly. That's the type of people I'm talking about locally here in Detroit that could jump on this shit and make a problem for the Lions to the point where it becomes just like with Colin Kaepernick, just like with Michael Sam. It's just we don't want the distraction. If it becomes a national outcry, which at this point, people who are waiting to fucking shit on sports as toxic masculinity and all that nonsense are just waiting in the wings for a story like this. This is the story that's ripe for the picking. That's what I'm getting at. Now, you can disagree with that all you want, Earl, but I have facts on my side. You have your opinion. Your opinion means do. That's it, period.
No, I agree with you, Rich. I really do. In today's society, that's the whole point behind me sharing my story. Is in today's society, everybody wants to see somebody punished for sexual harassment of any kind, sexual assault, anything. They want to see it. And if there's a slim chance that they can see it, they're going to push. In my case, and it sounds like in Matt's case, there's no chance. There's nothing there. Now, you do it to me, I could just tell you to go get fucked and walk away. You do it to Matt, he's got enough money now that he can sue.
Oh, Martha Ford tells everybody to fuck off.
I'm telling you, I hope to God she does. That's basically what I got from that article was they came out and was like, we stand full behind our pick for a coach.
The problem is that not even 20 years ago, I take that back. Strike that from the record, Your Honor. Problem is 20 years ago, we understood that people that make millions of dollars per year who are high-profile people easily are high-profile targets. somewhere in the last 20 years, it's become wrong to point that fact out. Okay, this isn't some CEO or some producer or director or agent who no one outside of the business knows their fucking name. This is someone who holds one of 32 very coveted jobs in the world. And my fear is, because I'm sorry, Chris, you know this. We've talked about it on Unregimented. Earl, we've been friends for, 23, 24 years? You know this about me as well. I'd rather side I'd rather 10 guilty people walk free than one innocent man spend a day in prison.
True.
You need to be, I'm sorry, you are innocent until proven guilty. I don't care what the charge is. He fucked a child. What proof do you have? How dare you ask that? Fuck you. That's not how this justice system works. Fuck you. How dare you ask me for the proof when you're the one who made the accusation? Fuck you. That's how I feel.
And see, in today's world, the high-profile people aren't getting away with it now, though. Back when Bill Cosby raped those women, it was all hush, hush, shh, shh, take some money. Now there's more money in telling the story than there is to shut up. And everybody seems to be getting hung out on it. Anybody who paid for it, anybody who solicited it has now sexually harassed somebody.
Let's just realize for a split second here that it wasn't as hush-hush as you would like to make it out to be, Earl. And I'm going to back my statement up with the fact of what kicked off the entire Bill Cosby thing, which one you could argue that kicked off the entire Me Too, Time's Up, reckoning, however you want to look at it, that we're in the middle of now, is Hannibal Buress standing on stage and made a joke about it. And you may ask yourself, who the fuck's Hannibal Buress? And if you do, you're obviously not a fan of comedy. But I'll forgive you if you do ask that question. But that was the spark, that was the catalyst for all of this with Bill Cosby. Because he had the balls to go on stage and make a joke about a very poorly kept secret in the comedy/celebrity community. And everything since then with Bill Cosby has been fallout from that joke that he made. And here is the problem. And I almost wish Todd was here for a second, because Todd, well, first of all, it wouldn't take a second. It'd be about 10 minutes of him explaining how he prophesized this. But it's only going to take one person being falsely accused to discredit everyone who is rightfully accused.
No, that is a true statement.
And I mean, I have to be honest with you. If I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of someone who's looking to get some shit started and stir the shit pot and I totally admit this story broke a few hours ago. I literally heard it as I was pulling home from work. They were talking about it on 97.1. Everything they said, they prefaced 90 million times with, we're just reporting the story that we've heard. We don't know any more facts besides what's in this one story. This is a pretty juicy story. By this time next week, we could be talking about a shitstorm. Not just with the Lions, not just with Matt Patricia. We could be talking about a shitstorm in the national zeitgeist all around.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because if you remember that stuff with Marshall Faulk and a couple other guys, that shit showed up and went away real quick.
Because the NFL Network said, you're fired, get out of here, disappear. Mm-hmm. The Lions, unless they reverse themselves, don't seem to be wanting to go down that road.
Well, I mean, the Lions have more going on than just, if they fire Matt Patricia, they got to not only get a new head coach, but the whole direction of the program has to change. And the draft already happened. Free agency already happened.
Earl, do you understand to someone who's an advocate for sexual assault victims, that means exactly dick? They don't give a fuck about that.
Oh, yeah, but I'm talking about from the Lions' perspective, not from Me Too's and all that shit. Just from the Lions' standpoint, if they were going to get rid of Matt Patricia, way too late.
Yeah, who do you that's actually a pretty good point, Earl. Yeah, who do you get? If you're the Detroit Lions and you do pull the trigger and go, okay, we don't want this, he's gone, who do you get? Who's left?
Okay, but let me ask you this question. How long do you hold on to Matt Patricia if this becomes the left and their version of Colin Kaepernick?
I'm the wrong person to ask, because I'll tell you, it doesn't fucking matter. If he wins, no one will give a shit.
True.
We're far enough out from even fucking the first preseason game to where they can put enough pressure on the Lions to maybe they will fold.
Actually, you know what? Here's how we know that Patricia will be a dead man walking. Because it comes back to everything. Like almost every issue we've brought up on this podcast since it started. If revenue's affected, they'll get rid of them. If season ticket sales start plummeting, they'll fucking get rid of them. But if the revenue isn't affected, they'll be like, yeah, we stand by him. He wasn't convicted of anything. You know.
Here's my problem with all this. The fact that whether revenue's affected or not has become politicized is my issue. He was never convicted. He never even fucking went to trial over this. What does it fucking matter at this point? Strictly
I don't know if I've been away from home for too long, but I just don't remember Detroiters being that fucking easily led.
No, the problem is it's going to turn into there's going to be someone, most likely coming from the left, who's going to turn this into a political issue. They're going to forgive the phrase, but they're going to fist fuck identity politics, and this is men versus women, and this is the patriarchy and all this bullshit into this issue, whether we want them to, whether it needs to be there or not. They're going to do that.
Yeah, I could see.
And then it's going to be Trump supporters go out and buy Lions season tickets, and the enlightened progressive ones boycott the Lions. And it turns
that don't go to the football games anyway.
That's the one saving grace. I'll freely admit that. The people who would go, fuck Matt Patricia. I mean, the vast majority of the ones who would go, we're going to boycott the NFL. You'd go, who won the Super Bowl last year? And give me your smartphone before you answer that question. Can't use Google.
Now, Rich, I can see some people coming down from Mount Pius and playing the whole, the Lions knew and they hired him anyway. What kind of culture are they promoting over there? I could see that happening.
That's part of rape culture. Yep, and the patriarchy in it. See, you're tracking. You're picking up when I'm laying down, man.
We both are, but I'm gonna lean towards what Chris said. He wins, ain't nobody gonna give a shit. You can scream on TV forever that he was accused of something. I don't give a fuck.
Here's the thing, guys. He hasn't won shit as a head coach yet. He's not established. This isn't Bill fucking Belichick. It's
That's
a
why we
Belichick.
said if he wins.
He's a Belichick. Shut up and listen to me. He's a Belichick disciple. These people who want to fucking tear down this shit might see and smell blood in the water. It's a chance to tear a guy down before he can become invincible because his win-loss record is over 500. Do you not see that? Do you not understand how these type of people work? And this isn't an attack necessarily on just the left. Fuck necessarily. This isn't an attack just on the left. This is an attack on people who politicize every fucking thing. First of all, rape should never be politicized. It's a fucking disgusting, horrible thing that's like what? Right underneath murder as one of the worst things a human being can do to another human being. Period. End of story. If you have an interior dialogue disagreeing with me, it may stop now. Period. The problem is that when it's trivialized because of shit like this, what happens if they dig this woman up and throw her on TV and she starts fucking bawling and crying and he raped me and I was scared to come forward and I don't care about who's right, who's wrong, who's lying, who's telling the truth. Can you imagine the shit storm that's going to ensue?
Yeah, but I'll play devil's advocate. You weren't scared enough to get him indicted, but when it came time to go to court, you fucking vaporized.
Yeah, well, I'm going to play the devil's advocate and say you got fucking 18, 19 years of Law and Order SVU telling us that most rape cases don't make it to trial because people don't want to relive the trauma and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And while that's the absolute truth, the problem is if there's a bullshit accusation, they can use that truth to cloak themselves in, to claim that's why they didn't come forward. And I don't even know if the statute, I don't know the statute of limitations on this case, but if they've run out, then motherfuckers are free to run wild with it. The only thing to stop them would be, Earl, what you brought up, hitting someone with a fucking slander or defamation of character lawsuit. That's it. That'd be the only thing to stop them.
I mean, the other thing is, it's 22 years old. Like, it's, and really, to play more devil's advocate to these, to our hypothetical SJWs that to come out of the woodwork, wouldn't you want to go after the organization that employed him for like a decade and a half before he's been with the Lions for 2 months, 3 months? Maybe start there. That's where I see when you talk about blood in the water, Rich, that's where I really see it. Like, because the blood could lead to Boston.
I understand, and I totally agree with you, but here's what I think. I think that there would be someone that's going to stand up in this hypothetical SJW meeting and say that, and then you're going to have someone in the back slowly put a hand up and say, why go after the Lions? Why go after the Patriots? Let's go after the NFL and take the whole fucking thing down. It's a cultural rape.
I'll tell them, good luck. They're a billion. They make billions of dollars a year and can afford the lawyers for that. Have fun. That's what I tell that person.
I absolutely agree with you, but we know these people love to put themselves as the David in a David and Goliath situation. For whatever reason, they want to be the underdogs. No, not for whatever reason, because human nature, for the most part, is to root for the underdog. And they love to put themselves in that. Belichick loves to place a fucking chip, even if he has to invent it on his shoulders, on his team's shoulders. And they've been front running since 2002. Yet he will make sure to fucking play yep, you're the underdogs. Us put upon Patriots. That's. I hope for once in 2018, when you look at the facts of this, we go, nothing came of it, and move the fuck on. Sadly, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be a shitstorm. I really hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't become one. But I think this is not a blip on the 24-hour fucking news cycle and then it's over with. I think this is going to be here for longer than it needs to be. That's just my gut feeling.
With you, because I'll bet each of you $20 within the next 48 hours. We know this chick's name.
Mm-hmm. I bet you we see a crying face on TV with her name in front of it. I'll go that far. That's the world we live in, guys. It's the world we live in. The fact. Let me give you an example. Steve Bartman has to work to stay out of the media. If he didn't work to stay out of the media, we would see pictures of Steve Bartman eating lunch, going to work, coming from work, buying cat litter. Because that's the way the world works these days. He has to...
And that was 20 years ago.
He has to make a conscious effort to stay out of the media to this day. What's that tell you?
Hey, Rich, I got your answer. Statute of limitations in many states don't have a limitation. You can bring it whenever. But in 34 different states, the statute of limitation ranges from 3 to 34 years. With Matt Patricia's case, it happened in Texas. It has a statute of limitation of 10 years on any count. First, second, third, and fourth degree.
So then I would want to ask this person, what's the point? What's the point of doing this now?
He can't even be tried for it anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't be tried. You had a chance to show up in court and you didn't. What is the point of bringing this up 22 years later?
Yeah, the fact
besides
that
maybe character assassination.
Right.
Is this another way, or is this? God damn it! Here we mark it. Half hour in. Is this just another way? Is this another way for ESPN to get some eyeballs on their site? on their TV shows, because that's where the story I'd say you guys came from.
Well,
They can't talk about race anymore, so they'll jump in on this.
we all know what ESPN's political bent is because of Mickey right up top. So to me, at that point, enough said until we have anything else. At this point, we're literally just fucking spitballing what could have, until next week. We're sitting here doing episode 100. We don't know how deep this shit's gonna go.
Yeah,
I just know that I know one thing. On the drive home, it was talk about Stan Van Gundy. Then all of a sudden, it came back from commercial break, and the entire tone of the host on the Sports Talk channel changed. And he goes, at the top of the hour, we're going to cover a breaking story that I just read, and I'm not really sure how to even bring it up. That tells me everything I know.
Read
I
it.
need to know. but that tells me everything I need to know. That's the world we live in. He's afraid to read the article because no matter what, he's going to be attacked, period. Because there's those people that are going to get angry at him for being the one that broke the story on 97.1 FM.
Well, isn't the way in 2018 you just say fake news? You change the channel?
Pretty
Is that
much.
what you do now?
Sure, I guess.
Well, what isn't fake
news.
is this coach that Detroit doesn't like is Stan Van Gundy. So
Yeah.
Which Chris had a good point. We totally missed the boat on that one. Here, especially for two of us living here in Detroit, because
Yeah, they came out with the whole "he's our guy, we stand by him," blah blah blah, and within a week, see ya.
yeah, the minute they said he's our guy, we stand by him. We should have started the fucking clock. Now,
Which good? He's given us 4 years of mediocrity. Thanks for nothing.
yeah, he should have went to the playoffs with Bolaki.
Was that anything but a fucking please come see us grab?
No,
They really think he was going to lead that team? Come on.
Fuck no. That's what I was telling people. That was to get butts in the seats in that new arena. That is strictly what that move was for.
He's a one on the Pistons. He's a fucking third shooter on a goddamn fucking good team. And we're supposed to get excited about that? Really? But there you go. That's the middle of the pack teams. That's how they keep you interested these days.
he was third on the Clippers behind Jordan and CP3.
And the Clippers, where would you rank the Clippers against the Pistons this year?
Clippers are back to being shit. You know, they had they had a few years where they were relevant. Clippers are back to being the Clippers of my youth.
Yeah, pretty much.
What? LA has another basketball team?
Say it ain't so.
Well, I mean, is anyone on this podcast shocked?
No.
I'm shocked he lasted 4 years.
I almost wish we had fucking Freddie the Pizza Guy's fucking number so we can call and go, are you shocked? Because I swear to God, I thought this should have happened last year in the off season, but that's just me.
Well, you know, it's probably Goris giving him one more chance in the new arena.
And on top of that, let's talk about Goris. It's time for him to sell this fucking team. All right. All you do is show up and fucking give away T-shirts and then go back to wherever the fuck you came from. You don't give a fuck about this team. Bill Davidson built the motherfucking palace with his own money. That's how much he cared about this fucking team. You haven't done shit. You bought the team. The team is now worth more than what you bought it for. Sell it, make your profit, move the fuck on. Let's get this team into the hands of someone or an organization who actually gives a shit about them winning.
Yeah, who wants to win. Who just doesn't want to own a basketball team. None of the moves Goris has made shows that he wants to win. Blake Griffin was purely, you know, it was, again, you know, we were talking about it all for the last 6 months. You know, both the Wings and the Pistons, wrong season to pick to open a new arena because that arena was fucking empty. So,
yeah. Right there with you.
Yeah, do something. And Blake Griffin was, I mean, it's, you know, I called it, Iceman. It was to get people in, and it worked for a month.
Yeah, you did.
It worked for a month. It got people at Pistons games for a month. You know, it got some jersey sales going.
Well,
but
yeah.
I mean, other than that,
In a city where you had the bad boys and the Go to Work Pistons, you get a big quote all-star, and you get that feeling again that maybe it's going to jumpstart something. And then, a couple of games go by, a month or two go by, and you're like, nope, same shitty team. Great. It's ironically, it's just like Major League, the Cleveland Indians. No, they still suck. Who the fuck?
Well, it's funny that you made the jump to a fictional baseball team, because I was saying it's kind of like what the Tigers are kind of doing with Cabrera. Hey, we still got Cabrera. Yeah, and you have broken down, sun-setting Miguel Cabrera.
Old and busted.
Yeah.
We need the new hotness, not the old and busted.
Cabrera ain't gonna. He ain't winning. The window for Cabrera to help you win a World Series has been not only slammed shut, it's been nailed shut, painted shut.
Bricked over.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, this show's going to be the show of all the fucking movie quotes.
I know, right? But so, I mean, now that we have lost Stan Van Gundy, who do we get? Who's even out there? Is there anyone who's going to be free after this season that would even be worth it? All right.
Yeah, cricket.
Nobody. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the Sixers coach, perhaps.
Yeah, he might be looking for a job after tonight.
Or the Raptors. The frick, you're going to lose like that.
No, the Raptors coach will keep his gig. They were like the best team in the league for the second half of the season. That guy will keep his job. He may be on the hot seat, but he ain't losing his gig. But yeah, we'll see with the Pistons. Is there really any more to say about Van Gundy? I mean,
hasta la vista, baby.
Yes.
I don't know. What do you do? Thanks for stopping by.
Exactly. But while we're on the NBA, let's talk about the failing Cleveland Cavaliers, Iceman.
I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be back in an hour or so. You guys go ahead.
4-0. Or they swept them. After a 7-game series, they fucking swept them. And I know you love to hate them, but somebody put up, I saw it, one of the sports websites, I want to say it was CBS, but somebody put up stats comparing LeBron to Jordan at this exact point in their career. LeBron is either beat Jordan, he's matched him, or he's going to beat Jordan in most of the stats, except championships.
Okay.
Which is the big one that matters.
I'm not going down the road again of Jordan and LeBron. I ain't. It just ain't going to happen that way.
Here's the point. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. You say Jordan's better. You're never going to convince me otherwise. That's where I cut you off and go, well, then your opinion's absolutely useless.
Okay.
Yeah, no. You say okay all you want. You are useless in your opinion. Why? Because you say never.
Rich, you can't compare Jordan and LeBron. No. It's two different leagues, bro.
Stop. Is LeBron the best player of his generation?
No.
Yes.
End of discussion.
No, he's not.
Out of his generation, who's better than him?
Steph Curry is better than him.
He's not of his generation.
Steph Curry's not in his generation. Steph Curry came in the league like fucking 10 years after LeBron.
Dwayne Wade is better than him.
So you would at both their prime, you would start fuck their prime. At both their rookie years, if they started the same year, you would draft Dwayne Wade over LeBron
in a heartbeat. LeBron James is very athletic. He has been his whole life. He's a great basketball player, amazing at times. And in this playoffs, for whatever reason, however he did it, you see just the resurgence of the, rookie year of him. It wasn't even this good. The guy has it. He can do it. He really can. He's on a team. Okay, look, in a locker room, he's
straight in to do some explaining. Go ahead.
He's a cancer in the locker room. If things don't go his way, he whines, bitches, and moans until he gets his way. He is not a team player.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Stop right there with what you just said. Let's deal with what you just said and only what you said just now. Is that because he's that bad of a cancer, or is it because he's a victim of his time? Because Jordan didn't have social media, a fucking ESPN studio in everyone's pocket via their fucking smartphone. We didn't know what went on behind the scenes. Jordan was sacrosanct. We could not talk about anything negative about him without the NBA coming down like the hammer of God on anyone who dared do it in sports media, including his very ill-advised time in the fucking minors of MLB. That should have been a joke. It was a joke. He was a joke. And it was treated with reverence because it was Michael fucking Jordan. And we didn't know any better. All we knew was the public persona that was put forward by the NBA, by Jordan's handlers, by the Bulls fucking handlers, and that's it.
You know what, Rich? You make a hell of a point that I've never thought about. When it comes to Michael Jordan, we never seen a basketball player like that. The things he did on a court were just astounding. A pioneer in the 90s, no doubt. It was something to behold, but nobody had ever seen it. So you're right that they came with the Jordan rules, not just on the court, but off the court as well. 100% right. I never looked at it that way, and thank you. I'm being completely serious. When you talk about LeBron, he also does things that are just outside of belief sometimes with some of the jams and things that he does. But with social media and today's, climate, if you will, he isn't untouchable. He's put out there on a pedestal all by himself, and people like me go, go ahead, take a shot. He's standing right there.
I will say this: there are very few players that change the face of any sport, and I would say that Wilt Chamberlain came in and changed the face of the NBA, changed how the game was played, the game was viewed. But we never knew all the fucking dirty peccadillos about Wilt Chamberlain until he put him out in his own book to make money. I don't think Jordan's ever going to be so hard up on money he's going to fucking write a tell-all book. But now, slowly but surely, 20 years after his last fucking championship, 20 years after he's relevant, we're starting to get stories about how he's a degenerate gambler, a fucking person who never stayed faithful to his wife. Basically, the type of person you really wouldn't want to be friends with because he would probably fucking fuck your wife and then collect a paycheck on the fact that he bet that he could fuck your wife. And if we knew that about Jordan in his prime, we would look at him differently. Purely on what you see on the basketball court, I will say this. Jordan, Chamberlain, it's hard for the 80s for me because there was a bunch of players that changed the game collectively, and they weren't on the same team.
No,
Magic, Elijah Wan, Thomas, fuck the bad boys, period. Mahorn and
John Sally.
Those guys changed the rules of the NBA just by going out there and playing the way they fucking were taught. They just played. I don't know if LeBron has changed the face of the NBA. He walked into a changed culture that benefited him. But I can't keep, and I've shit on LeBron. I shit on LeBron last episode. The truncated fucking 40-minute episode, I was right there with you. I do agree. He's soft. I don't think he would have the career he had back in the day, the way he plays now. But here's the point. He has to play the game as it is now. And as it is now, this man has had a hell of a career. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I agree to that.
He is playing out of his mind in the fucking playoffs.
And you have to, whether you want him there or not, there is an argument that he is in the top 5 players ever. Now, whether you agree with that or not, there's an argument to be made and a counter argument to be made. That's the point. That's what I'm getting at. So this whole Jordan versus LeBron shit, what it really needs to do is it needs to end. It needs to stop. You're comparing apples to oranges. You're comparing the dead ball era versus the live ball era. Ty Cobb to Babe Ruth. You're comparing two completely different players in two completely different eras. What needs to happen now is we need to look at what he's doing in the playoffs right now. And Chris,
in the playoffs, he's kicking Jordan's ass.
He's kicking
right now.
everybody's ass.
No. See, Chris, asshole. You just fucking stop undoing what I'm doing. Fuck Jordan. Fuck Jordan. Jordan's a meme to the people who grew up with LeBron at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. What is he doing right now in the playoffs? He's dominating. And for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. Indiana took him to 7 games. I agree. It shouldn't have happened. Maybe Indiana's better than we're giving them credit for. If Indiana didn't draw Cleveland in the first round, we might be talking about Indiana beating Cleveland in the fucking conference finals.
Now with Ricky Rubio hurt, but I get your point.
Do you see what I'm saying? Why can't we have that conversation? No, it's always going to be LeBron did or didn't do something. Well, you know what he did?
The thing I was thinking, Rich, where I was heading with the different era is I always give LeBron shit because he has to have friends. He had to have D. Wade. He had to have Kyrie Irving. He had to have this. He had to totally change his team in the middle of the fucking season this season. But so did Jordan. I don't know why I admire Jordan for doing it. Well, yeah, I do. I admire Jordan for doing it because there wasn't all this bullshit around him that LeBron brought. I need help.
But have you been paying attention to the fucking playoffs? LeBron has put the Cavs on his back.
No, I got you.
Fucking help.
But it's just one of those things that, you know, Rich is kind of, I've seen the enlightenment, you know, and I've been enlightened, and I'm just like, wow. Jordan.
I still think you're being sarcastic, but okay.
No, dude, I'm not. I'm not going to be like, fuck him anyway. No, I'm not. I'm 100% serious. Jordan had a carousel of people go through the Bulls in the 90s. A carousel. All the way from, you know, Luke Walton, all the way down to Bill Cartwright, Kerr, Paxton, B.J. Armstrong. I mean, I could do this all night. I really can.
And by the way, real quick, too, he also had 2 Hall of Famers first ballots with him.
Right. So if I'm an NBA player, why would I not want to stay on the Bulls and win with Jordan all of these years? I would. But the fact that he kept having a carousel of players go through, was it the same problems that LeBron faced today? Or was it people that just got big with Jordan and went and got paid somewhere else? And well, like you said, Rich, he'll never be hard up for money. We'll never know. Did he just keep it behind closed doors and was like, Phil, rid of that motherfucker. Give me somebody else. We'll never know. But it's a hell of a point that you've put in my head. Like, I always give LeBron shit for wanting help and crying about team, but Jordan had a carousel of fucking people.
I will say this, okay? We just passed the anniversary of Allen Iverson's whole practice speech, okay? And the reality of the practice speech versus how we look back at it are two different things. The reality is he just buried one of his childhood best friends that was killed. That's why he missed the game. Or the practice, okay? He couldn't come out and say that because he knew, and Iverson was the type of person that he wasn't going to put that on his friend's death. So he went out there and handled it the only way he knew how. We're talking about fucking practice, not the game I go out there and bleed for. Not the game I go out there and I'm fucking playing amongst giants, and yet I'm dominating them. Not that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about practice. I missed a practice. The fuck out of my face with that. I was burying my best friend. That's lost in history. What's remained in history is his rant with no context. We also just passed the anniversary of Iverson dropping 58 in the playoffs. But see, we won't talk about that because we're talking about practice. See what I'm getting at? It's all... I don't know. I don't know if I can put it any better than what I just put it. And at this point, I'm just talking to talk. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being 100% real. LeBron James is a great basketball player. He always has been.
Let me ask you a question. If for whatever reason he wore a Pistons jersey,
He'd be a favorite player.
I don't like LeBron James, the person. I would not buy a Pistons jersey with his name on it.
okay,
So what?
I got you. No, hold on.
Rich knows this. There's plenty of musicians that we love that are fucking shitheads. We could separate the art from the person.
Yes.
You kind of got to do the same thing with LeBron. Like, yeah, trust me. Like, I was bitching to you guys last week that I wanted, I had beef with him because his whole thing when he was talking about at the end of the Pacers series, like, I'm just tired. I want to go home. I was like, nice leadership, dick. Why don't you fucking go home then? Like, if I was on your team, I'd be pissed at you. But at the same time, you can't argue with the guy's performance, man. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's the best player of his generation.
But here's the thing, though. If you want to put it that way, Rich, when I met him, had a guitar with some initials on it. And I was like, who the hell is that? And he introduced me to Stevie Ray Vaughan, SRV, on his guitar. Now, if there was a musician that Rich just absolutely could not stand the person, fuck if he could like the music or not, but couldn't stand the person, I have a hard time believing that Rich would have a guitar with initials of this guy.
Well, let's put it this way: I can name the person I can't stand, and I can name you the guitar, and it's a Gibson Birdland played by fucking Ted Nugent. And here's my problem with that: I don't like fucking hollow bodies. I don't like Ted Nugent, but I'll tell you this: Ted Nugent should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Ted Nugent, maybe not a first ballot, but he should be at the moment we're talking. He should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why? Because Ted Nugent came out he started playing, and he came to prominence during the time of Jimi Hendrix. And he stayed relevant on the charts and in guitar playing through the time of Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen, and he finally, like a lot of guys who played his style, he died during basically the grunge era. The grunge era put the final nail in his coffin. That motherfucker went from emulating Chuck Berry to, if you listen to the solo on Come Again by the Damn Yankees, emulating 8-finger tapping, what was relevant at the time. He evolved to stay relevant.
Even squeaked out a hit in the 90s with Fred Bear.
My question is, Rich, you don't like Ted Nugent, right?
As a person, no.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know him as a person. I don't like his politics. As a person, I might get along with him. I probably would, honestly. He likes to eat meat. He likes to hunt. I just don't like to. If I'm going to hunt, I'm going to hunt to eat meat. I'm not going to hunt to put a trophy on the wall. So I don't know if I like him as a person. I honestly don't. I don't like his politics. I don't like a lot of what he says. I think he revels in the bombast to the point of absurdity, but that's just my opinion.
Back to your question, no, I would not buy a LeBron James jersey just because I don't like the person. I'm going to celebrate the fuck that he's on the Pistons and we might go to the NBA Finals again. That'll be it said. No, I wouldn't buy his jersey.
Earl, I can't believe you missed this one. You missed the perfect athlete, but you went musician. Ty Domi. It's the perfect fucking athlete to throw at me. If Ty Domi, for whatever reason, ended up on the Red Wings instead of Joey Kosher when they won their first cup in 97, 98, or 96, 97, would I have a Ty Domi jersey? Fuck no, I wouldn't. Fuck that D-looking motherfucker.
No, you wouldn't. You'd put on your Probert jersey backwards and go to the fucking game and stand up against glass and go, right here, bitch. Right here.
Yep. But you know what? Hey, motherfucker was one of the best enforcers that ever fucking laced him up.
Yeah,
I can never take that from him. If for whatever reason Patrick Waugh, in the twilight of his career, instead of Hasek, had ended up on the Red Wings, and Patrick Waugh backed him to that 2002 Cup win instead of Hasek, I would still hate Patrick Waugh, but I would have still fucking been downtown drinking fucking at the Detroiter drinking cheap beer out of a fucking fake fucking Stanley Cup with a bunch of people I don't know. I probably picked up hepatitis Z from.
That's what
I
I'm
don't know.
saying. Now, see, if Belfour would have got to the Red Wings, I'd have bought every fucking jersey that the Red Wings had. Away jersey, the home jersey, the color jersey, the practice jersey, the I was drunk one night jersey. I would have bought it all.
Hey, hockey guys, let's finish the NBA playoff discussion.
Sorry, my bad.
So yeah, okay, Cleveland. I had to poke at you, Iceman, with that one. But you know the other thing I'm gonna poke at you on, Philly, huh?
do. Right.
One game. They won one fucking game.
Over Boston.
They were gonna come out of the East. They were the Cavalier killers, according to you, Iceman.
Dude, the East is what the fuckins.
No, the East isn't what the East is. Nice try, super teams. You have the same two teams in the conference finals this year. Hey, good job, Pacers. Good, yeah.
In my
Super Bowl bullshit did not work in the East.
In my day-to-day travels, I run into a certain gentleman who works at a gas station, and we talk sports. And he's a baseball, hockey, football fan. And I walked in tonight, and he's watching basketball, and he goes, I can't get into it. I was like, why? He's like, why the fuck don't they just have Cleveland and Golden State and just put them in a fucking, best of 15 and call it a fucking day and just fuck the rest of the playoffs?
Because keep an eye on Boston, man. Boston is playing going to work Pistons basketball. Tonight they had 3 or 4 guys in double figures. That's just they're playing a solid team game, and they're without their superstar. And I love. Did you see what the other night Joel Embiid popped off about Rozier? Talked about he couldn't get up in my face because he's too short. I mean, man, he's making you look like a bitch for 3 games. You're gonna talk shit to him?
Seriously.
And then he what was it? The final play of the game tonight. Rozier stripped the ball from him, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
They're
like, talk that shit. I'm gonna go play in the Eastern Conference Finals. You have fun playing golf.
I can't wrap my mind around what's going on in the East because nobody saw this shit coming. Nobody.
Look at my basketball bracket. I fucking totally saw this shit coming. What are you talking about?
You got lucky.
Wait to dismiss his fucking, okay, all right.
No.
First, if you mean that, hold on a second. If you mean that, fuck you, for real.
I don't mean that. That was a joke.
Okay, I was going to say, because if you mean that, when we see each other again, we can go round 5 or 6, or how many ever times we've ever threw hands, and see who has a heart attack for the other one, and that's who we know wins. Because fuck that. Chris actually called that shit. Don't dismiss his shit. I don't dismiss your picks as lucky.
No, I absolutely. You did call it. I couldn't even fathom how you got there because there was no signs of any of that. Because like you said, the Celtics are playing go-to-work Pistons basketball. Out of nowhere.
We talk about the Celtics were the best. The Celtics were the best team in the league for the first half of the season, and then the second best team in the league for the second half of the season. What do you mean you didn't see that shit coming?
Chris, I gotta ask you a question. What's your national your nationality or origin? Is it Lebanese?
Yes, and French. Oh, the way is we're supposed to say American.
Well, no, I was hoping there would be something that would lend itself to Negro-damus, but Lebedamus doesn't work as well. So that's how he saw that shit coming.
No, Chris, you're right. They were, but they lost all of their players to injury.
And he told you this was going to happen, even though.
He did.
Take back, run it back.
Because there's another thing that all 3 of us never really bring up with the NBA. That is a factor. Coaching.
Okay, real quick. We have Melted Ice. That's Earl. And we have the new Iceman. And there you go. There you go, Chris.
You stand for that, Earl? You take that lane down?
Hey, you knocked me down in the fucking NBA, dude.
Yeah, when we're talking NBA, we got Melted Ice and we got Cool as Ice. So
I'm badass ice, but that's all right. I got like 3 out of 4 sports. Anyways, this was one of my strong suits. I swear to you, I saw the Sixers coming and beating Boston's no problem. Nobody saw Cleveland going 7 games with Indy. Nobody saw Toronto losing. This whole thing is just like, what the fuck?
I mean, the other thing that why I picked them is experience. Sixers ain't been to the playoffs since fucking Iverson was with them. Pacers ain't been to the playoffs since fucking Reggie Miller was with them.
Hallowed be his name. Hallowed be Iverson's name.
They're trusting the process.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, but you know what? Look, all bullshit aside, dude, I had a feeling about Boston for no good reason. So maybe I need to buy a lottery ticket. Like, if you remember, I didn't fill out my bracket because I just didn't give a fuck. Well, no, actually. The power was out or some shit. No, there was a legit reason why I didn't fill out my bracket before the game started. And I was like, well, they've already started, so I'm not going to fill out the rest of it. So fuck it, whatever. But when Chris said that, I was like, I think Boston can go a lot farther than you're giving them credit for. That's because that is a lunch pail hard hat. I don't want your excuses. I don't care if our fucking star players sitting there in a fucking Armani suit instead of on the court. You're going to win this game. And yes, that does go back to coaching. That's why, I'm sorry, I have to interject this. That's why a coach like Jim Harbaugh is a wannabe elite coach, because he will talk about the weather, his starters were injured, whereas D'Antonio goes in the shoehorn and wins the fucking game with a backup quarterback. One accepts excuses, the other doesn't, period. Coaching will win you the close games. And that hurts my heart so bad to say. You know this podcast, you know it hurts me to the very depths of my balls to say that, but it's the truth.
And really, for the East, it's who's going to go lose to Golden State, quite honestly.
Well,
any surprises in the West?
Easy.
Bullshit. Golden State's going to roll over the Rockets.
Think so?
Yes. Golden State. Dude, they're so deep. Even with Steph Curry, like a half of Steph Curry, they're still deep. They are deep with talent. They are going to roll over the Rockets.
I agree. I have them picked over the Rockets. It's just I don't think it's going to be easy. Because as much as LeBron James is killing it and kicking people's ass and taking names, so is James Harden.
Yeah, the problem is there isn't like 7 of James Harden, because that's pretty much what Golden State is.
Yeah, I agree.
The only thing I'll say about Harden and ultimately the Rockets is if I'm once again, because I'm this huge of an NBA fan, I'm sure I got this quote right. Someone asked Harden about, your path to the finals, and basically he said, we don't care who's there. We didn't wish for anyone. We didn't wish for someone not to make it. You're in our way. We need to go through you, period. If that's his attitude, it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
I'm just of the mindset you should care with the team you got coming up. Like, you should really fucking care.
Okay, but care
that they had, a lot of words to say about who they were playing and everything. Draymond Green, after winning the series,
Draymond Green said it. Thank you. That's the person, not Harden, but Green. Draymond Green was interviewed, and they asked him about, the Houston Rockets and some of the comments that were made by Houston. And Draymond Green said, you can say what you want. The game still's got to be played. And left it at that. I was like, oh, shit. Somebody's not coming to dance. Look, here's the deal. Chris, I agree with you that you need to prepare for the opponent in front of you. But there's a point when you're getting into a physical fight where if you look at the person's face and you punch the person in the face, you might do some damage. But there's a point where if there's a target behind their face and you punch through their face to hit that target, you're going to lay them the fuck out. That's what I'm getting at. And if Houston has that attitude, This could be a dogfight. That's all I'm saying. But apparently, my point got shit on because it was Draymond Green that said that, and he's on fucking Golden State. So,
yeah, and not just that.
I'll tell him too. You should care. You should care. No one should be making that statement.
There's also a point in a fist fight when you hit somebody and they just look at you like you fucked up. You know you fucked up, right? At that point, you're just screwed, and that's where I think Houston's heading.
At that point, you start grabbing a lamp and shoving the electrical end in their eye. And then there's the person who just got a lamp shoved into him's fucking girlfriend in the corner going, in Novi, we just talk about it. We don't do it. We talk about it.
Long story, folks. Long story.
Podcast for how many people were there? 20, and none of them listened to us. So yeah, good, great.
Well, I mean, we could go from one set of playoffs that's playing out pretty much how we thought it was to another set of playoffs.
Oh my God! Thank you, Iceman. Thank you, Iceman. Dude, I swear to God, if you want, I'll call my boy Corey. He's gay. I don't think you're his type, but you buy him like a steak dinner, he'll probably blow you. Thank you. Love it. No, I'm just saying. Fuck the Penguins.
I know.
Get time set up.
It's back to cold as ice over here, baby.
No,
I told you.
But what did it... Stop. Before you fucking start taking a victory lap and getting winded halfway through, what did I fucking say? I said I want Washington to win. But until they do, I have to go with what history has shown us.
And I came back with, I got you, but that series took its toll on Penguins. I'm telling you, the Caps got it this time. And they did.
No, okay, listen to me. I absolutely agree. Okay, here's the thing. This is only the second time in the history of the Washington Capitals they've made it to the third round. Can you name the last time they made it to the third round? Anybody? Bueller?
I want to say
something
late 80s, early 90s area.
Wrong.
Wrong.
97, 98. They made it to the finals against the Red Wings.
And the survey says,
Okay, Capitals. If they came to play and they came to win, as much as I've been in the corner of the fucking Knights all season, man.
I'm with you, man.
Give me cash.
I want to see Ovechkin win a cup.
Get your motherfucking movie check, Ovi. Get your motherfucking movie check. AKA,
dude. I want to see him hoist a cup. Fuck the Knights. It's their first season. They got to play more chances.
Guys, you do know the Caps are playing the Lightning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just saying, in a perfect world. Look, you don't understand. Anyone who didn't listen to the Capitals broadcast does not understand. That overtime goal, the Capitals broadcaster said, the Demons have been slayed. The Penguins have been the Capitals' fucking Achilles tendon for, I don't know, the last 10 years? I mean, it's...
Careful. The Capitals are making Rich religious. That's how far this has gotten.
Hey, just because I don't believe in it don't mean I don't know about it. Come on now. How can I dismiss it unless I know something about it? I'm not you. I don't dismiss shit out of hand.
It's easier that way.
I heard about that. That's bullshit.
That way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I love doing a podcast with you. You come up in every other podcast we have as an example. Not me, so don't worry about it. No, you're there.
I'm not worried.
You're there.
I'm not scared.
But no, that was the honest to God's truth. That call, and God damn it, I wish we could bring that call up. Chris, are you in studio? You in Studio A?
Nope, I am in Omaha.
God fucking damn it. I wish we could bring up that fucking call, because that call was, you know what that call was? That was 2004 Red Sox coming back against the Yankees. That's what that call was. Obviously not the long history, but it was one organization going, we finally fucking did it. And I can only hope, here's my worst fear, that they're either going to celebrate too hard with that victory and put too much stock in that victory, and not realize that they have to go through Tampa Bay and they still have to win the cup, which is why I do not like the way the new playoff system is set up. In a perfect world, Penguins Capitals would have been conference finals to go to the Stanley Cup. That'd have been some fucking miracle movie shit right there. Period. But because they gotta fuck my sport up, they had to meet in the second round. So now they gotta go against Tampa Bay.
Hey,
and I'm not even gonna bother to fucking call that because, yeah.
Which granted.
Check away, now the counter. Here come the Caps. Kuznetsov gets loose. Evgeny coming down the middle. A shot, and it comes in over. He scores! He scores! Evgeny Kuznetsov wins it for Washington! It's off to the third round. The Demons have been exercised. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Pittsburgh. We're going to Tampa Bay. The Capitals have done it.
Boom, baby.
That's a great call.
How can you not get pumped up by that? How can you not be pumped?
Believe in miracles? Yes.
Yes.
I brought my bracket up. I'd like to point out I did pick the Capitals to win it all. But I had them playing Boston in the finals.
All right. Calm down.
But this I could see this being a 7-game series easy.
I'm not even going to. I can't speak on it, man. My heart wants one thing, but I'm afraid of another.
Because Rich, I will play this card because we are all Red Wings fans here. How many times in the 90s or even in the 2000s did the Red Wings breeze through the first 2 rounds and then eat shit in the finals? Yeah, because they had too much time off.
You have to understand the way they fucking did it was different back then. It was 1 versus 8. 2 versus 7. They've completely restructured it. Basically, they want the rivalry games right up in the front of the fucking series. That's why in the second round you have the Penguins versus the Capitals. Hold on. God damn it, I broke my own rule. All right, anyone who's listening who fucking wants to fucking take a shot at me, 10 of you who are listening who wants to take a shot at me. Let me find the final standings for this year. It used to be, everything's broke up into the new way of doing it. All right. It used to be by points. Okay. Now it's by division. And that's what pisses me off. If we were looking at how it used to be, it would have been, I can't even begin to fucking try to do this. Sorry. Long story short, is what I'm saying is this should have been a third round meeting, not a second round, with Washington and the Penguins. But the way it's been artificially constructed now, they force these early round shits because they want to try to get what they have now. They have a number 1 seed versus a number 1 seed. Well, what's that really fucking mean? You have 2 number 1 seeds. You have artificially constructed number 1 seeds versus each other. No. What I want to know is 1 through 8 in the East, seed them that way. That way I know who the fuck was doing what. That's why Detroit lost like they did. You also notice once they moved Detroit to the East, the Eastern Conference versus the Western Conference, after 15 years of us begging the NHL to do it? Once Detroit was shit, they moved them to the East? Yeah, so...
Well, I was speaking more just to the time off. That's what got the Red Wings a lot.
Yeah, but it was Tampa Bay won 4-1 versus Boston. Washington won 4-2. That's not really a whole lot of time off. There's a difference between sweeping your way through the first round, sweeping your way through the second round, and then sitting on your ass waiting for your opponent who went to 2-7, a 7-game fucking series. That's
that.
No. If you want to say that's what happened to the Detroit Tigers since 2006, to we just cashed in our chips and said, hey, we hope we can beat the Royals. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. That fucked the Tigers both times, 2006 and 2012. They sat on their ass because they swept through the conference finals, the ALCS, waiting to see who they were going to meet in the World Series. Momentum carried over. But baseball and hockey are two different games. I mean, in baseball, if you got a hot pitcher, you don't want him to sit for 3 days waiting for his next turn to pitch. In hockey, shit. You want to have a practice squad? The Red Wings practice against the Red Wings. That's what they do every day, waiting for their opponent. So you have an all-star squad versus an all-star squad. Pretty much they're going to keep up on each other. I'm not really worried about that in hockey. Sorry, I didn't mean to shit all over your point. My bad.
That's what we do here.
Yeah, but I don't really do it to you that much. and I hope I did it softly. You know what I'm saying?
Feel so alone anymore.
Like gently.
Yeah, dude. You offended my delicate sensibilities, Rich.
Well, just saying, when it came time to pop your cherry, I was gentle because I knew you'd never been fucked like I'm gonna fuck you, so it's okay.
Rich, you know where I'm gonna head with this? To the goalie. Murray, good goalie, great goalie, but he's not Fleury. Fleury's still in the fucking playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And Fleury is the only Penguin who has a chance to still three-peat.
Yeah. Right now, I bet the GM of Pittsburgh is feeling like an idiot.
Let me tell you something. And this goes back to the entire restructuring lockout of the mid-2000s. And I called it. And I didn't have a podcast to do it. I just had my friends. And they're not on this podcast, so you're just going to have to trust me that I said this. This is what happens with a salary cap. You're forced to cast off players, and other times you would not. The Golden Knights are a team of players that were cast off, and that gives them the chip on their shoulder. But I think, in my opinion, 1/3 of that team wouldn't have been cast off if it wasn't for the salary cap. Salary cap has allowed Vegas to be as competitive and be as, dare I say it, dominant as they have been. We sit here tonight, okay, 2:04 a.m., 5th of May, and we don't know who Vegas's opponent is.
Or the 10th of May, for those at home.
When I say 5th of May, yeah.
Rich's time traveling, ladies and gentlemen.
Hopped to mile like a motherfucker.
Hopped to my DeLorean, yep, 88 miles per hour. Someone passed me a taquito. But anyways, that's what I meant to say. We don't know. It's gone to Game 7 between Nashville and Winnipeg.
Yeah, what's up with that? Who called that?
I told you Winnipeg was a fucking... I said they could be dangerous. They're a young team. They're a fast team. They play the new style of NHL hockey that will excel. It's quick. It's fast. It's not what we grew up with.
See, but to me, the youth, I'll admit it, to me, I thought the youth was a negative for Winnipeg. I thought they were first-round fodder, quite honestly.
Well, I didn't think they stood a chance against Pecorine, but they're making him look like a fucking rookie.
No, I knew they were going to get past Minnesota, but I didn't think it would go 7 games with fucking Nashville. Nashville's showing me a side of them that I didn't think existed. I mean, they're exploitable.
Hey, I got a chance to watch PK Subban. Ooh, he can shoot. He can shoot.
Let me tell you something. I don't know if they still do it because I don't have cable. They used to have a cable package where if you had like NBC Sports and NHL Network and all that shit, they would show you an isolated camera on a certain player to where you could watch a whole game with a camera isolated on a certain player. Yes, that man is a bad motherfucker. Okay?
Hey, he's like a sniper from the point, bro. I ain't even bullshitting you.
Yeah. That trade from last season starting to look hellacious favorite in fucking Nashville's favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's starting to lean way heavily over in Nashville's favor.
Well, Rich, when we talk about hockey, we always try to talk about the old guard at some point. But PK Subban reminds me of the defenseman of the old guard. He's definitely somebody like a Lindstrom or a Stevens, somebody out there you're going to pass him a one-timer and he's going to laser shot it to where he wants it.
Well, that's the thing. The quarterback on the power play in the NHL is your defenseman. And it's went from this is getting really into some nerd X's and O's shit. It's went from the two defensemen playing along the blue line. Then you have your forwards, you have a roaming center, you have a winger parked in front of the goalie, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then you cycle the puck until you get the good shot. You want a quarterback, a.k.a. one defenseman that can sit there and fucking and play along the blue line and direct everybody. That's what that is what is valued these days. And more so valued is a right-handed shooting left defenseman, because that gives the what do you call it? What is it? Metrics. In metrics, that gives the odds to the shooter instead of the goalie, because most goalies are right-handed. They have a blocker in their right hand, they have a stick in their left hand. So it's easier to go high side stick than it is go high side blocker.
Right.
You know. Belfour was always like, hey, take a shot on my blocker side.
I doubled it.
I mean, on my glove side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. You know what I'm fucking saying? Yeah. So, I don't know. All I know is
butterfly style is strong.
all I know is that these playoffs have given me faith that maybe the NHL can draw in some of those, fringe fans. Unfortunately, because of my job, I can't watch the games live. I have to watch highlights. I can listen to them if I can find them on the radio, which is rough when your local team isn't in the fucking playoffs. But sometimes I'm able to do it.
You live in Hockeytown, USA. Come on.
Well, there was a story about how Las Vegas has been renamed Hockeytown, USA.
Yeah, fucking whatever. One season. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, it's your first season and everything, and good on you. And way to prove your haters wrong for trading you away and all that good shit. But at the same time, it is your first season.
And if as a Detroiter, I'm going to relinquish the Hockeytown title, it's going to be to somewhere like Montreal or fucking Boston. Like, shut the fuck up. It's not going to be Vegas.
Guys, you got to remember, a Canadian team has not won a cup since '93.
That's true.
We're talking 25 years. And
I would call Toronto a hockey town before I'd call Vegas a hockey town.
Oh, boy.
It's just about any town in hockey.
It's an original six. It's got the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I'm just saying, you just pissed off a lot of people in Montreal. But I got you.
Fuck them. Learn to speak English and be pissed off at me all you want. No, but yeah, I would pick an original six city over, like, yeah, it's cool you've had a nice first season in all Vegas, but come on now.
Guys, I think we shrug off what Vegas has done at our own fucking, danger here.
All right. Wait, hold on, though. Finish, Rich, and then I had a thought in Vegas last week, and I want to bounce it off you guys. Finish your thought, Rich.
I'm just saying, this is a team of cast-offs with a coach that was a cast-off who's doing it, and they're doing it and doing it and doing it well. You know what I'm saying? So don't.
Now, Rich, I don't at any point just try to dismiss what Vegas has done. That's groundbreaking. That's holy shit. But to call yourself Hockeytown USA after your first season,
that's nonsense. That's marketing shit. That's Vegas being Vegas. Whatever. Just fucking move on. I don't even give a shit about that.
All I'm saying is the spirit of Detroit, downtown, Hart Plaza, is looking at him like, bitch, please.
Look, if you want to be brutally honest right now, yeah, compared to Detroit, they're Hockeytown. Right now as I speak. Because right now as I speak, Vegas with a 24-hour drinking law has more motherfuckers sitting in a bar with Golden Knights jerseys on, talking about their chances of winning the cup than there are Red Wings fans sitting in a fucking Coney Island with Red Wings jerseys on, talking about once we get through this rebuild, we're going to be a demon to deal with.
All right, but we're like the Musketeers that got disbanded. We still got our jerseys in the closet. They'll come out. We still got love.
The only reason mine ain't on is because I gained weight, but okay.
See what I'm saying? I got mine in my closet too. Shit.
So I had this thought last week in Vegas, guys, and I've probably done officially way too many podcasts with the Iceman. Let's get out the tinfoil hats here. You think the fix was in Vegas all year, so they didn't end up with maybe another Phoenix Coyotes? I mean, it is the home of organized gambling, sports betting. It's just, I hit some of that good Vegas weed last week. Just it was a thought in my head for maybe 5 minutes. Do you think the NHL's like, this team has to do good this season? We cannot abide another Phoenix Coyotes.
No, I'm almost sure that's not what happened. What I believe happened, and Rich knows why I believe this. Their goalie won the Stanley Cup last year. So I am not shocked, not even a little bit, that the Vegas Knights are having the season they're having.
Yeah, but the goalie don't play offense.
Doesn't have to. He sparks the offense by stopping the other team's offense. And if he does it well enough, and he has, your team will score and win.
He does, like I said, you don't put the puck in the net, man.
But it
like there's been plenty. But
just as
come
important.
on, man. You're being willfully obtuse. There have been plenty of games where a goalie has stood on his head and they've lost 1-0.
Oh, hell no.
Not Vegas.
That's never happened. 52 shots, 51 saves, motherfuckers. Speaking of Belfour, of course, 52 shots. He saved 51 of them and he lost the fucking game.
But you just made my point, man. Like it's kind of like a pitcher getting. It's kind of like, it's a scenario we were familiar with here in Detroit when we had Justin Verlander. It's kind of like Verlander, pitching a fucking near perfect game and getting no run support. You can't do it all.
No, you're right.
It's the same with Fleury, dude. You could save all the shots you want, but someone's got to go put the puck in the net at the other end of the ice.
Right, and Rich will tell you, Vegas Knights have a great team. They really do. A lot of the cast-offs is because of the salary caps. Teams that are restructuring, like with Detroit, with the trade that they made with Detroit. It was a salary cap move.
And on top of that, they were like, that's a luxury move on our part. Give us tartar sauce. We don't need them, but we'll take them, and we have the room for them. Right.
So you have a Stanley Cup winning goalie and firepower on the offense. I'm not surprised at their season, but I'm extremely shocked that they got the camaraderie and they just melded so quickly that they can, have the season they're having.
Well, but God, once again, this is what the NHL wanted. Period. And when I feel the NHL, when I feel Bettman does shit wrong, I'm the first one to fucking fuck him in his shit pussy all day long. I don't feel they did this wrong. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm not with you. I don't feel like the fix is in. I feel this is a perfect storm of this is what they wanted to do with these expansion teams. And after the mid-2000 lockouts, they finally got the end result of what they were trying to do. It took them 14 years, but they finally have it.
Yeah, now, but I think when they named the expansion team going to Vegas, we were all like, seriously? In the middle of the fucking desert?
No, actually, Chris and I were still, we had just started this show. And I was like, I can't wait for the 30 for 30 for the first season of that shit.
Now
and that's going to be some... Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, the hookers that must be flowing through that team, shit. Oh, yeah. The coke that must be going... you know what? Let me stop. Because I'm starting to... Starting to get in territory might be actionable. My bad. I'm just. No, look. This is as fucked as hard as it is for me to say this. This is only good for hockey. Okay, and if you want me to fucking tell you how I really feel, now that Washington's in the third round, I want Washington to go in, and I want Washington to absolutely shit on the Lightning. I want a sweep. I want Yzerman thinking, what the fuck am I doing in Tampa Bay when I could go back home to Detroit as a GM? That's what I want out the Eastern Conference. Out the Western Conference, I want absolute Golden Knight domination. And then I want Capitals and Knights in the finals. And I want the Capitals to absolutely fucking dismantle the Knights. No, that's not true. I want a 7-game series that goes.
I knew a 7-game series was coming.
In the overtime. Well, because I'm sorry, I just got so excited about the Capitals dismantling Tampa Bay, and maybe Steve Yzerman coming back home, that I just got a little too excited. Forgot where I was. No, but I want a 7-game series. You know what I want? I'm calling into work because I have to watch Game 7. That's what I want. I want to lose a day's pay because I need to see Game 7. That's what I want. And what more can you ask for as a fan of a sport? Guys, as much as I shit on the NHL, as much as I shit on the NHL during this segment, they've done something right to end up where they're at. Whether they fumbled into it and just kind of like, here we are, or they fucking planned it out. It doesn't matter at this point. Results dictate how long people are going to be in power.
Chris, if the fix was in for the NHL and the Golden Knights, then the fix was in.
Why are you even entertaining that? Why are you even entertaining it? Fuck you, Chris, for bringing that up, first of all. Why are you even entertaining? You knew he would take the bait. That's why you brought it up, motherfucker. Okay, go ahead. My bad. I'm done. Go ahead.
Then the fix was in the Super Bowl. Patriots were going to come all the way back. Had to be dramatic.
Yeah, but the thing is to your argument there, Iceman, the NFL is not in financial peril. The NFL doesn't have a Phoenix Coyotes. There is no team that the NFL has in receivership and has had to take ownership because they are just a financial fucking clusterfuck. Like it was a fleeting thought. It was just like, like I said, a couple drinks, Vegas weed. Just the NHL, like, we can't have another Coyotes. This team's got to be successful this season. It's just a thought. It was fleeting. But I'll devil's advocate to my own argument. You know how many fucking people you'd have to have in on that? Someone would have said something by now. Someone would have said there was a secret meeting with Gary Bettman and our coach, and shit was laid down, and this has to happen, and you're going to play the Knights 4 times a season, and you're going to win one of them, and you're going to lose the other 3. Like, yeah, it would go too deep.
Yeah, it really would.
All right, so off of the NHL. Is there anything to talk about with baseball that you guys want to talk about?
The only thing we really touched on was the Stanton. Yeah, the Stanton haters probably shutting the fuck up right about now.
Second day. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all the people a couple weeks ago that were questioning the Yankees' moves are probably, in pinstripe bukkake at this point.
So, in other words, every fucking Yankees fan ever, front-running douchebags. Yeah.
Because the right movie quote here is...
2 home runs last night.
The right movie quote here is, name a park that wouldn't be out of. Yellowstone?
Yellowstone? Well, I mean, at the risk of getting all Todd on you, no, that was a line drive that went out. The Stanton home run I saw that went out under 2 seconds, that was a straight-up high line drive that went out. So, there you go. Todd, you're welcome. I got your fucking know-it-all-ness into the podcast somehow. So,
hey, left the park. It left the park. Bottom line.
No, I'm right there with.
It still counts in this HR category.
Yeah, I'm right there,
man.
But I mean, that's probably the biggest I mean, Rich, you are probably the most entrenched in baseball in this podcast. That's probably the biggest story in baseball right now is his bat's finally heating up.
Well, I mean, you had a no-hitter thrown by a Canadian who's playing for Seattle, but he threw it in Canada.
That also happened last night.
Yeah. So, I mean, yay. Oh, Canada. Yeah, there we go.
The Tigers couldn't even put together a win against the Rangers. Oh, boy.
Fucking Tigers. The Tigers are they're who we fucking thought they were.
Yes, thank you.
That team, it's kind of weird. They play better at home, but only marginally. And I've seen no consistency. The bullpen pitchers who should be, like Shane Green, okay? Shane Green doesn't give up runs. He comes in relief like a week ago. He gives up 2 home runs. What the fuck? What's going on there? And if you listen to Gardenhire talk, he's like, I don't know either. I mean, I almost wish Gardenhire would come out and go, this is the team I'm given. It's all I can do.
Gardenhire, like, listen, I'm just coasting till retirement. You know, they said they were going to pay me. I get to manage a baseball team. What do you want?
Yeah, when Gardenhire was in Minnesota, he had Rick Knapp, who at one point was one of the best pitching coaches in the league. Produced Lariano, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I produced fodder for the rest of the fucking wealthy MLB teams from that pitching rotation. You don't have that now. Now you're relying on a bullpen with Green and I'm sorry. Go ahead. Who else is their fucking go-to guy that won't give up at least a run or two? Go ahead, I'll wait.
I can't even name you anybody else in the bullpen.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. We're back to here in Detroit. Nat Goodrum, because he's got a unique name, is now becoming people's favorite player. Like when Nook Logan in 2005 became people's favorite player because he had a unique name. It's over in Detroit. Enjoy your fucking sub 500 season.
Yep,
End of story.
We're back to Travis Fryman, Bill Gullickson, fucking Bobby Higginson. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love Bobby. Stay off that. Fucker had a cannon for him.
No, but we're heading for that era, and you know it. We're heading for another era like that. It's gonna be a rough half a decade.
Shit, I think you're being pretty hopeful to think it's only gonna last 5 years.
And we're a month in. I'll say it again. I'll pose this question. I think we posed it at the beginning of the season. Probably posed it at the end of last season. Think Miguel Cabrera ends his season in a Tigers uniform?
Yeah, only because his contract.
Yep. Nobody wants to take him on now. Not that contract.
Not unless Detroit says fuck it and eats a lot of that contract and is willing to send him someplace else.
Follow-up question then. Is this his last contract?
I'd have to imagine, yeah. Where's the power at? As much as you're paying him, he's a good hitter, but he's not a power hitter.
Not anymore.
Yeah, he's fucking what, 34?
That ain't... Man, I get it, but it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Can we get some steroids in this motherfucker? Can we put it in this Jack Daniels?
Like, I was gonna say you have to mix. I was gonna say you got to mix it in with the booze.
I mean that's and you know look, I don't. Here's the deal. I don't know shit.
Put it in some strange pussy. He'll find it.
I don't know shit about his personal life. I have no idea. I'm not claiming to, but all I know is that he's playing like he's drinking again. And it's like, dude, look, yeah, it's nice you come out and you put the ball in play and you get on base safely. That's not what they pay you for. And your contract ain't worth a single double hitter. You got to put that bitch in the stands. And you have to do it consistently. That's what that contract was. And that contract, honestly, was Mr. I going, by the time that contract becomes an albatross around this franchise's neck, we'll have won 1 or 2 World Series. Unfortunately, we didn't. And really, the most interesting thing I think to come out of this early season that I've heard, as far as the Tigers, is a quote from Max Scherzer saying the 2013 Tigers was the best squad he ever played on. And that was, I think, 2013, 2014. The one where Torrey Hunter went over the wall trying to get the home run in the playoffs against the Big Poppy.
That was 13, wasn't it?
13? Okay. He said that was the best baseball squad he's ever been a part of. And that has to tell you everything. Because, yeah, it was 13. Because the next year, here comes awesomeness.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. What's your managerial experience? I managed Israel in the World Baseball Classic. Israel has a fucking team in the World Baseball Classic?
I managed Taco Bell when I was 18.
I managed the Popeyes, and I still won't give you more than 2 fucking Mardi Gras mustards, no matter how many chicken tenders you order.
Do you know how expensive those bitches are?
I don't know. Send them to me, and I'll find out. Fucking
Stop.
Anyways.
To revisit the story we started with, did you guys happen to see...
Yeah. Go ahead.
Squirrel. Did you happen to see Matt Patricia's statement about it?
Yeah, it was in the article I sent you guys. Here, I'll find it. I'll read it.
Well, the 4-Letter Network just broadcasted it and just said that he was accused, and just everything the article said, that the management didn't know about the accusation, but they're 1,000% behind him and in no way would have changed their mind, yada, yada, yada.
I'm trying to get my phone's being stupid, so I'm going to have to bring it up on the desktop here. I'm trying to get that article so I can read his statement.
What are you getting at, Ice?
Well, the statement is on my TV. It says, as someone who was falsely accused of this very serious charge over 22 years ago and never given the opportunity to defend myself and clear my name, I find it incredibly unfair, disappointing, and frustrating that this story would now resurface.
Keep going.
With the only purpose being to damage my character and reputation. I firmly maintain my innocence, as I have always done.
Well, you don't need to. You weren't convicted. Why does he have to make a retarded statement like that? Like you shouldn't have to maintain innocence. You weren't convicted. You are innocent.
Well, it's exactly what I said, with the only purpose being to damage my character and reputation. People need to be very careful about this. Okay. It was an allegation. It was alleged. It never tried. All of that. She went away. So this is nothing. And Rich, if you're right, and somebody tries to take with this and run with it, and this is a big story that we're talking about next week, somebody's getting sued. That's what I read from Matt's statement, with the only purpose being to damage my character and reputation. I think that's a warning shot going, leave this the fuck alone, yo.
You guys got to follow me here, because I will say maybe a glimpse of hope for Matt Patricia. I'll give you one name, Ezekiel Elliott. Now, while the commish did come down and play Judge Dredd, and he was the law and got suspended for 6 games, he was kind of public scrutiny. He didn't get so much of it, because I would like to think it's because he wasn't convicted of anything. He was accused, yes, but he wasn't convicted. But he's fine. I'll play the card. He's a black guy. Patricia's a white guy. So it may play out differently.
As much as it fucks me up to say this, man, I think once you get this deep down the rabbit hole of Me Too and never again and all this bullshit, I think race, while it does play a factor, it is severely lessened, because ultimately you're a man, and you're a man who's been accused of something. Now, I'm not saying that race doesn't play a factor, but I think it's been lessened to a certain point.
Yeah, I think the sexuality of it's worse than the race, because Bill Cosby got in trouble the same as Harvey Weinstein.
It took 2 tries to get Cosby. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what, I have quite a few friends who are black who still say he was set up, and they say the word, I will never believe Bill Cosby did this. And when I hear the word never, when it comes to something that new information may come to light, and they say doesn't matter, I'll never believe it, that's where the conversation ends with me. Yeah, you're a true believer.
With somebody like Bill Cosby, though, Rich, you got to understand, You grew up with Mr. Jello Pop. The man did a whole comedy stand-up, has everybody who's ever watched it die laughing, and he cursed one time when he was talking to, or he didn't, yeah, he cursed one time when he was talking about who his dad.
No, Dad, my name ain't goddamn it. My name's Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know.
He also said asshole when he's talking about. They say cocaine intensifies your personality. I said yes, but what if you're an asshole?
Yeah.
Twice.
Look, dude, I don't care if he cussed. I mean, I understand that means something to some people.
No,
but those are simple.
I'm just saying, who he is, the character he developed, the people that have known, like I said, Bill Cosby himself, the Cosby
Look, motherfucker,
Show.
why are we talking about Bill Cosby at the end of Sporgy? This is the shit that kills me. This is the shit that...
Because when you look
Go
at
ahead.
Patricia, okay, when you look at Bill Cosby, he's that makes you feel good type of thing. And then to hear that he knocked women out with drugs and raped them, no fucking way. But now you got Matt Patricia, who comes from the king of scandals in the National Football League. There's got to become a scandal gate over in New England, because there's been everything else. Deflategate, Spygate, just who wants a gate, open a gate, close gate, it don't matter. And that's where he's coming from. And now he's the one that got accused of it. So is this touching gate? What is this? And
I don't know, man.
If anybody's going to take it and run, that's where they're going to go for him.
Look, dude.
And he's not even close to the character of Bill Cosby.
Once again, we're sitting here and we're pissing into a fucking ceiling fan. We won't know until next week. Next week will be episode 100. Who the fuck knows? Maybe episode 100 is the Matt Patricia Touchgate. Who knows? I don't know. But right now, there's really no point. We've already fucking run up and down the carpet till it's bare wood underneath about it at the beginning of the show. So for right now, let's just go into the plugs. How you doing, Chris? That's your fucking...
Yeah, I was just gonna say we'll catch up on this next week. So thanks for listening. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, thanks for listening. Thanks for telling somebody. You can hit us up on Twitter at Sporty Podcast. Email the show sporty@christophermedia.net, and check out all the other podcasts at christophermedia.net. Check out Unregimented. Me and Rich do it every Thursday. Talk about shit other than sports. Maybe you want to hear us get into the other stuff. Check that shit out. But thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Discovery Plus is the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Woohoo! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
A different future starts with you. That's why GoDaddy does more than help you find a name. You can create, sell, and get found online, so any small business can drive change or build an empire. We need a new generation of thinking. Your way of thinking. Start different at GoDaddy.com.